The Last Door. It all began on a stormy evening. Daniel, a historian fascinated by forbidden knowledge, was sorting through old manuscripts in his study when he found a letter with no name, no return address. The parchment was ancient, brittle, yet the ink was fresh, as if written yesterday. It read, "The truth you seek is behind the last door of Holloway Mansion. Do not enter after midnight." The Holloway Mansion had been abandoned for over a century. Its owner, Lord Edward Holloway, had vanished mysteriously in 1892. People whispered about strange lights, moving shadows, and voices in the night. No one dared to go near it. But for Daniel, the letter was an irresistible invitation. That night, he drove through the storm and reached the mansion. Its iron gates, rusted with time, opened slowly by themselves, screeching like a scream. As he stepped inside, the thunder roared above, and a wave of dread ran through him. The entrance hall was grand but lifeless. Cobwebs hung from the chandeliers, dust covered the carpets, and portraits of the Holloway family lined the walls. Their painted eyes followed Daniel wherever he moved. A strange detail caught his attention. In each painting, the family's faces looked less human the longer he stared at them, as if their features were slowly changing into something otherworldly. Daniel wandered deeper until he found a long corridor with 7 doors, each carved with strange symbols. He recognized them. They were not only Egyptian hieroglyphs, but also Sumerian cuneiform, Norse runes, and other languages separated by continents and centuries. Whoever built this mansion had stitched together secrets from every ancient culture. The doors. The first door creaked open to reveal a room full of broken clocks. Hundreds of them, from grandfather clocks to pocket watches, all stopped at the same time. 11:59 p.m. Daniel's heart skipped. The letter had warned him about midnight. The second door was a hall of mirrors, yet none of them reflected Daniel. Instead, each mirror showed faint human-like shapes standing just behind the glass, watching him. As he leaned closer, one of the shadowy figures reached out as if trying to break through. He stumbled back and slammed the door shut. The third door opened into a children's nursery. Old wooden toys lay scattered across the floor. A rocking horse moved on its own, and a music box played a haunting lullaby, though no one had touched it. The air grew cold, his breath visible. Then he heard it, the giggle of a child. But the room was empty. The fourth door led into a library. Thousands of books filled the shelves, none in a language he fully understood. When he pulled one out, the text shifted, rearranging itself into words he could read. "We warned you not to come." A whisper filled his ears, not from outside, but inside his own head. By the time Daniel reached the fifth door, his hands shook. Inside was a candlelit dining hall. The table was set for a feast, plates of food perfectly fresh, as if waiting for guests. The chairs scraped suddenly as though unseen figures were sitting down. Then, one by one, the candles blew out, plunging the room into darkness. The sixth door revealed a spiral staircase leading down. The walls were covered in symbols, glowing faintly gold. The staircase seemed endless, yet when Daniel blinked, he was back in the hallway before the seventh door, though he was sure he had descended for several minutes. Now he stood before the seventh door, the final one. Its symbol glowed faintly, almost alive. He checked his watch. 11:55 p.m. He had 5 minutes. The warning echoed in his mind. "Do not enter after midnight." Taking a deep breath, he pushed the door open. What he saw defied logic. The room inside was impossibly vast, larger than the mansion itself. Golden statues of gods from different cultures lined the hall. Osiris, Anubis, Odin, Quetzalcoatl, all side by side as if worshipped together. In the center was a massive stone coffin, its carvings shifting like liquid, never the same twice. But Daniel froze when he saw the figure beside the coffin, tall, cloaked, with eyes glowing faintly in the dark. "You came," the figure said, in a voice that echoed unnaturally. "The last seeker. They all came. None left." Daniel's voice trembled. "Who are you?" "I am the keeper," the figure replied. "This coffin holds what mankind was never meant to see. Once it opens, the world will not be the same." Daniel's watch ticked loudly. 11:59. 1 minute left. "You should leave," the keeper said. "When the clock strikes midnight, the doors will vanish. You will never return." But curiosity burned in Daniel stronger than fear. He stepped closer to the coffin. The keeper moved aside as if allowing him. The stone lid trembled, then slid open. Daniel expected bones, a mummy, or treasure. Instead, he saw a body that looked alive. Not human, not fully. Its skin was pale gold, its eyes closed but glowing faintly beneath the lids. Strange energy pulsed through the air, shaking the ground. Then its eyes snapped open. The mansion roared with a sound like 1,000 voices screaming at once. Daniel turned to run, but the hallway was gone. The keeper's words echoed, "The doors will vanish." Behind him, the coffin fully opened, and the figure inside began to rise. It spoke in a voice that was not one voice, but many. "We were never myths. We were never gone. We were waiting." The clocks struck midnight. Daniel's watch froze. His reflection returned in the mirrors. But it wasn't him. It was a different version, his face twisted, older, his eyes glowing like the keeper's. The mansion swallowed him in darkness, and when the storm cleared, Holloway Mansion stood silent again, its doors sealed, as though no one had entered for 100 years. But somewhere, in the endless halls behind the last door, Daniel was still running, but never leaving.